Hello everyone, welcome to the Python programming course. Here we are going to learn the complete Python which is required for learning courses like machine learning, deep learning, Pandas library, NumPy library, Matplotlib library, and I'm going to teach you the Python which is required enough for doing those courses. And yeah, so before actually writing a piece of code in Python or before starting Python, actually, I want to teach what actually is a programming language. So, as a developer, as a beginner, we all need to know what actually a programming language is. So, yeah, that's our first step in this journey. Let's understand what actually is a programming language. And yeah, let's begin. So, as humans, we communicate in different languages. Like we have English, we have French, we have Telugu, we have Hindi, and in India itself, we have many languages to communicate with people, right? So, but just think, if you are sitting in front of a laptop and you say add two numbers, can it do it? If you say to a laptop 2 plus 5, give the answer to me, can it do it? Yeah, of course, we have got AIs and which understand a human language, but yeah, let's take a situation where you manually talk with a computer, and if you ask it to do it, can it do it? No, it can't. Because why? Why it can't do it? Because computer doesn't understand the language we use. Computer can only understand zeros and ones, which is called binary, but the high level languages which we write code, it might be in English, so the computer doesn't actually understand it. So what actually a programming language is? So just as I said, as we humans communicate with each other in languages like English to understand each other, to communicate with each other, just as the same way, we use languages, programming languages, to communicate with the computer to do a specific task. So programming languages are languages which consist of set of instructions where we write set of instructions with the help of those programming languages in order to communicate with the computer so that it does some specific tasks for us. So yeah, in simple words, programming language is that. And here we can see some popular programming languages where we can write code like Python, Java, C++, JavaScript. These are all the programming languages which we use to communicate with the computer. But just as I said, here you can see a piece of code which says print hello world. But this is not in binary format. Then how can actually a computer understand it? As I said before, computer only understands binary, but here the piece of code is not in binary, but how can the computer understand this? And yes, here comes the part of compiler or interpreter, the most important thing as a developer we need to know. And a compiler or interpreter is something which transforms this code into machine level code, which consists of zeros and ones. And now this machine code can be understood by the computer and it executes those instructions. So basically what happens? We write down the code and that code gets converted into machine level code by compiler or interpreter, and that machine level code gets executed and our tasks will be completed in that way. So that's the basic thing which happens when we write down a program. And this is the most important thing which we need to know before starting any programming language. Because if we don't know what's actually happening inside, then we'll not be a better programmer. So, yeah, so we have got a basic understanding of what actually is a programming language. Now, yeah, let's get started with Python. So, as I said, Python is a programming language where we write some piece of code that the compiler or interpreter actually converts that into a machine level code which the computer understands and executes our task. And one more thing which I want you all to know is the difference between the compiler and an interpreter. So compiler will actually convert the whole file document of the code into the machine level code at once. It will not go step by step, line by line. It will convert the entire piece of code into the machine level code at once. But whereas an interpreter, it will go line by line, it will execute each line, and I mean it will go line by line. Suppose if there is 50 lines of code, it will start from line 1, it will execute line 1, it will get into line 2, then it will go into line 3, and it will go in that way. But if at all there is an error at line 50, it doesn't matter. The line up to the line 49, everything gets executed, and at line 50, it pops up an error. But whereas in a compiler will convert the entire piece of code at once, and it will pop up the errors before actually executing the program. So this is the main difference between a compiler and interpreter. So both perform the same task of transforming the code into machine level code, but the way they operate is different. So that's the key difference which we need to understand between a compiler and interpreter, and Python uses an interpreter which converts everything line by line and executes it. Okay, so this is an important thing to keep in mind. And now, yeah, let's write our first program, and I think you're all excited, and people who are coming after learning a different programming language, they may feel this is an easy program, but people who are new to this language, no problem, everything is easy if we learn properly. And yeah, this is an easy code and you can understand it. You know what's the best thing about Python looks exactly like English, exactly like learning English, so there is no problem. I will teach you Python in the best way possible. You will learn in the best way possible. I will give you the best practice exercises where you can test your skills and you can improve your skills as well. So yeah, let's get started and let's write our first program. So first function which we are going to learn in Python is called print. So what this actually does, as you have seen by the name itself, you can understand it does something called it prints something on the screen. So before actually I want to say one more thing. So you have seen we have two sections, and the left side section here we are going to write our Python code, and when we are going to click on this run button, the everything which is written in this Python code starts executing line by line, and then the output, whatever is there, it will be printed in this output section. I hope you got it. And now I'm going to write down the first function and the most important function in any programming language. They have different ways of writing this function, but in Python, the way you write this function is like this. I hope you're not confused. If you are, then it's simple. Just see this. It says print. So what a print does? Print, by the name itself, we can understand it prints something on the output screen. So what it prints, whatever it has inside the print parenthesis, that is the whatever it has inside the brackets, that exactly gets printed in the output section. Like now we can see when we click on the run button, we can see the exactly how it got printed, whatever it is written inside these double quotes, right? So keep in mind of the syntax. What we are going to do, first we are going to write print, and then we are going to open the parenthesis, and then we are going to open the double quotes, and inside the double quotes we are going to write something, like we are going to write hello. See, it gets exactly printed of whatever which is written inside these double quotes. So this is our first function. I hope you like this video, and yeah, this is just a beginning. This is just the first function which you have learned. And in this video, you have learned what is a compiler, what is an interpreter, what is a programming language, and you have also learned the print function as well. And yeah, this is just the beginning. This is just the first video, and I still don't want to miss out any practice problems for you. I still want to give, even if this is the first video, I want you all to do some practice on this as well. This part, if you are a beginner, yes, I want you to print. I want you to print your name on the output screen. So this is just a little fun exercise, not much harder. Yes, but don't lose hopes. Don't think that I'm doing too basic. I'll increase the difficulty as the time proceeds, as the lectures proceed. I will increase the difficulty, and this is just the first part. Just wait. We are going to cover everything that's required for uh, the courses which we are going to learn in the future. And yes, thank you for watching.